Ooh, what's good, Commanders fans? And great morning. Just wanted to talk about some roster moves that we did make yesterday and some injury updates. So, some important stuff. So, let's start off with Big Tay Play Martin, man. I just want to give put Big Play Tay some love. I know they elevated him over Ja'Cory Brooks, which some people definitely have questions about and some gripes over, but I think they just went with experience. Big play Tate Martin. He has one catch in his career, so it's not like he has much more experience. But he does have. He had a couple preseason catches too. Looking at his numbers, yeah, he only has one catch in his career and two targets for a 49-yard touchdown catch. So I've been hyping up Big Play Tate. I think he's capable of making some big plays, and I think he can take the top off the defense as well. Possibly, it was a really nice catch from Will Levis in traffic with the Tennessee Titans against I think it was against the Bills, if I'm not mistaken. It might have been the Bills or the Texans, either one of those teams. It was like an AFC South team that they were playing. So Tate Martin is about 6 foot, 386 pounds with Oklahoma State, 27 years old. So he is on the younger side for the roster. 1,046 receiving yards in his senior season at Oklahoma State, 80 catches. So he had some really good years. He had 685 yards receiving at Washington State. I know I'm saying college stats, but just for you guys who are not too familiar with Big Play Tay Martin out of Oklahoma State. Also, they signed him in training camp when Terry McLaurin was doing his hold in. I know a lot of people were joking, like the TM, they signed the wrong TM. So they signed TM, Big Play Tay Martin, to the practice squad. So let's see if we can get a big play out of Big Play Tay. He had 10 touchdowns at Oklahoma State his senior season, and then he had 11 touchdowns. He was with the San Fran 49ers on their roster as well. So he does have some familiarity with Adam Peters there. So there's a connection right there. So it looks like I'm not going to say they were biased, but they've seen Big Play Tay in San Fran, so they elevated him instead of Ja'Cory Brooks. Jacoby Jones is still on the practice squad too, so I knew they were going to elevate him. But we are very, 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 very thin at the wide receiver position with Terry McLaurin injured and then Noah Brown, who was usually injured anyway. So we're not really surprised about him. But receiver really, really, really needs to be a priority in the draft, in my opinion, in the first 3 rounds. Really, really in the first round. Like, I wouldn't be mad at a first-round receiver. I wouldn't be mad at a first-round pass rusher. But I think you really have to help your quarterback out with somebody like, you look around the league, Malik Neighbors, Emeka Egbuka for the Buccaneers. You just see these young receivers, Brian Thomas for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know we still have Jalen Lane, I get it. But sometimes you do need to be assertive and be aggressive and get that first round pick. Marvin Harrison's been a little up and down, but we can still use 800 yards receiving from a receiver. Yes, he does drop a lot of passes. But you look at these top tier teams, or not even top tier teams, but just these teams getting good receivers. And they are, yes, you can get a good receiver in the second or third round. We've seen Terry McLaurin, we've seen other guys work out in the third or fourth or even fifth round as of late. But for this team that has Super Bowl aspirations, you need to be aggressive and get a first-round guy, first-round talent. One of those Ohio State receivers, one of those LSU receivers, one of those SEC receivers, one of those guys is what they need to add and help Jaden Daniels out. Because Terry, of course, he's getting older. Debo, I would bring him back already. I know it's super early, but I would bring Debo back already. And then Noah Brown, you got to let him walk. You got to let him go. This is another injury-riddled season. Yes, he called the Hail Mary. Man, yes, I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit thinking about the future. But that's what we're going to do. That's what we have to do because I highly doubt we trade for somebody unless we really, really, unless Terry's going to come back soon. So I don't think we're going to trade for anybody. Tyreek Hill, I highly doubt. Jalen Waddle, highly doubt. Chris Olave, possible. Maybe Rashid Shaheed from the Saints, possible. But other than that, I just don't see us really trading for a wide receiver. So that's the news on that. Big Play Tay over Ja'Cory Brooks. Hopefully Ja'Cory Brooks does get an opportunity somewhere, somehow, some way, somehow. If it's not this season, then next season. We'll see about that. But all right, let's get to a quick word from today's sponsor, Sleeper, and then let's get back to the video. Ooh, what's good, Commanders fans? And shout out to today's sponsor, Sleeper, daily fantasy sports app. I got a great promo code deal for you guys using code Oliver. First-time users get a 100% deposit match up to $100 using promo code Oliver. Terms and conditions apply. Check out the link down below in the description and download the app as soon as possible. So we're going to make some NFL picks each week. We are 1-3, but on the app you can do more or less on passing yards, receiving yards, rushing yards, anytime touchdown scorers, receptions, which is one of my favorite ones, rushing attempts, kicking points, any stat, tackles you can do more or less, any stat you can think about in football, even sacks, defensive sacks. So any stat you can think about, you can do more or less. So my picks for the week is over Carson Wentz of half a passing yard, which is a good discount that they're giving. I get it as Carson Wentz, and then I'm going to do more on 64.5 receiving yards for Drake London. I hate to pick an opponent, but we have been giving up a good amount of receiving yards to Trey Tucker last week. Who else? Jacoby Myers has 60 receiving yards. Malik Neighbors had like 69 or 70 receiving yards, so I think we're going to give up a decent amount of receiving yards to Drake London. Still win the game, though. But promo code Oliver, make sure you guys use that. Let's get back to the video. Peace. Shout out again to today's sponsor, Sleeper. There's one more play I do want to add. I do want to add Michael Penix more than a half interception, so that means he's going to throw at least one interception. I think today is the day that we get a turnover. Ball is life. And Michael Penix gives us that first turnover of the season. He had a really bad game against the Panthers, and I think that continues today. I think he has a better game than the Panthers. It's hard to get worse than that, but I do think he throws the ball in harm's way. I think Deron Payne puts his left hand up and tips the football in the air, and either Trey Amos comes down with it or Frankie Louvu. That is my prediction for today. If Trey Amos gets a pick, he's going to win Rookie of the Week because he'll be in there. If he gets a pick or a pick six or anything like that, or has a good week, he's going to win Rookie of the Week because I want to see another Commander get Rookie of the Week for sure. So, all right. So, in other news, Bill Merritt, he has been announced. He was listed as questionable for Sunday due to a knee injury. He is expected to play versus the Falcons per source. This was from Adam Schefter at 11:15 p.m. He announced that. So, kind of knew that was going to happen. It was kind of iffy because the injury bug has been biting us. So, kind of would have, I'm not going to say would have been surprised, but I think Bill did participate in practice on Friday. So, good to see that he will be playing. I think this is an opportunity for him to have a good game. Now, the Falcons' rush defense is pretty good. Now, they gave up 73 rushing yards to Chuba Hubbard. Now, their run defense against quarterbacks is not so great. They gave up 39 rushing yards to Baker Mayfield. That's not a lot, but they gave up a 20-yard run to Baker Mayfield. If they gave up a 20-yard run to Baker Mayfield, imagine what they will give up to Marcus Mariota. There's an opportunity for Marcus Mariota to do what he did against the Cowboys, where he dashed and ran for like 35, 40 yards. There's an opportunity for that. There will be an opportunity on the RPO plays, the fake handoffs and whatever, stuff like that we like to do a lot. The up-tempo opportunities, scramble opportunities. That's why I really want Marcus Mariota to use his legs a lot. And Bryce Young, he didn't run a lot, but he had a 4-yard run. He had 2 carries for 8 yards. I think J.J. McCarthy had a solid game against them running the football a little bit, or had some opportunities to run. Let me look at it real quick. J.J. McCarthy, he had 5 carries for 25 yards, and he had a 16-yard rush. So I do think that Marcus Mariota is going to have some opportunities for sure to run, other than just the design runs that we do that he's going to really be successful on. So good news on Bill Merritt. And AJ Terrell was announced out. I talked about that yesterday. So tough game today because we have a lot of guys out, man. Percy Butler was downgraded to out as well, if you didn't hear about that. And, of course, just missing Noah Brown, missing Percy, missing Terry, missing Jaden, of course. John Bates. Ben Sinnott is going to have another good game, I feel like. Brandon Coleman. Let's see what happens with Brandon Coleman. Does he actually suit up today? Is he actually in pads and a helmet, at least holding his helmet on the sidelines? I do want to see what they do with that. Or do they do like a swap of Chris Paul and Brandon Coleman sharing snaps? That's something I want to keep an eye on as well. So, of course, with Bill Merritt being healthy, they're not going to have to add Donovan Edwards to the practice squad or elevate him or elevate Chase Edmonds. So, all right, you guys let me know what you guys think as always. Also, Tate Martin, where is his RES score? I just wanted to talk about that a little bit too, because his RES score was okay. It wasn't that great. But, his RES score wasn't that great. But it doesn't matter. We'll see what he does today to help this team out. If he does get any meaningful snaps at all, his RES score was pretty average. So, but all right, you guys, as always, let me know what you guys think. Hello, Commanders. Peace. And we have morning football this morning too. We got morning football. Let's enjoy all type of football today, guys. Hello, Commanders. 3-1 today. Peace.